Hey everybody, my name's Tanner. Thanks for clicking on this video. I'm a graphic designer, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I take some product shots and enhance them with some Moody edits. Let's go. Alright, so the first shot that we got is this wallet. It's a card ejector wallet that I got back in like 2015, but like it's my main wallet. I went ahead and I staged up a scene. I got a oversized flannel that I wear. During this time, late November, I was really liking oranges to be in my shots just to go with the season and to have like that kind of fall feeling in there. And then I got some of my black skinny jeans and I just laid them down and tried to make them flat, tried to remove as many wrinkles as I could. Then got my wallet and my knife. Put my knife where I usually put it, just in my right pocket. And then I laid the wallet. Tried to make the sides go along with the lines of the seam. Some of the first edits that I started to make, I started to just mess around with the basic adjustments. Aside from the noise that's on the wallet, I really did like the lighting on this, so I went straight to masking, which might sound controversial to some people, but sometimes when you just know the shot and you know some of the things that you got to do just to get out of the way, and then you can backtrack, start making some other edits. That's just kind of how I went about it. So what I like to do with masking, I like to use radial gradients and I like to make it look like spotlights. So here I just made a really big radial gradient and I increased the exposure and the highlights a bit, make it look like there's a spotlight on it. Kind of like this light here that's like barely lighting me. I just try to make it look like that there's some kind of light just beaming on it. I had all the lights shut off in this room and it was just on this desk. So after I went ahead and increased the exposure and the highlights, I went to the details tab, and under noise reduction, I went ahead and increased it a bit. I went back to masking, selected the subject, which this tool, since they released it, has been really great. The subject detection tool, the sky detection, and the background detection, they are very powerful and they're usually spot on. Sometimes you just gotta go back in there and either subtract or add to the mask, but that's no big deal. So I went ahead and selected my subject, reduced some noise on that wallet some more because it was quite noisy. I just didn't get the lighting right in this shot, but that's okay. Decreased the sharpness some. I just didn't want to look like it was like digital camo. From there, I used the linear gradient tool and I started to make my own vignette sometimes throughout my shots. And if you visit my Instagram, which is at theycallme_Tanner, some of my shots have like really strong vignettes. They're honestly just custom. Sometimes I will start with the actual vignette slider and just give it like a -13. It's just there to like make you naturally go to the focal point. But a lot of times I do like to get the linear gradients. One corner darker, another corner on the complete opposite side darker, just to start bringing in that focus to wherever my focal point is. Started messing with the second radial gradient and I just made another spotlight. I just wanted to give off like some kind of just ominous kind of vibes. Is vibe still like a word to say in 2022? It's like December 2022. Is vibe still a good word? End of it all, after I made some other basic adjustments, it looks like this. All right, then really quick, this is a similar shot. All I did was just remove my knife and flip the wallet over to reveal the money clip. The money clip on this one no longer works because it was a very cheap metal. And when I put in like, I mostly had singles. It wasn't like any like bunch of bills to show off or anything. I just had like a lot of cash, like 5s and 1s. It stretched out the clip and it never went back. And you can't just like bend it back so easily with that corner. At least I can't. I did have a rubber band around there. Then after a while, I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop carrying cash. I wanted to try something slightly different and I made some similar adjustments starting out. I gave it somewhat of an S-curve, darkened the shadows a little bit and lowered some of the highlights, but then lightened some of the blacks because it was just really dark and you were kind of losing some of that detail. From there, I went down to the color and I started to enhance these oranges. It was like that late November, early December time, and I knew for my Instagram grid, I was gonna wanna start switching over to blue tones and just cooler tones and start removing the oranges. But since there was like that orange flannel in here, it is November still, I'll go ahead and enhance these oranges. So oranges and blues, those are two complementary colors that pair really well together. I just increased the saturation on these oranges, made them go to the red side a little bit. I just, in my opinion, that visually just brought it out more in a positive way. And then from here, I did my linear gradient tool and I started doing my vignette technique. And similarly, I gave it that spotlight effect. I wanted to determine how I wanted people to look at this and what details I wanted them to focus on, because this is a scene that you're making. In product photography, when you do actual product photography, you are making a scene. So you got to determine, where do you want people to look? What elements of the scene, besides obviously the main product that you're selling, what else of the scene do you want them to recognize to be able to pair this and say, okay, this is a product for this kind of people who are either in this kind of environment or it gives off these kind of vibes. That's kind of like my mindset whenever I determine where I want to increase the light in some areas and then take away light from other areas. After that, I wanted to give it some kind of festive or Christmassy kind of feels to this. So for one of the radial gradients, I gave it more green, and for the other radial gradients, I gave it more red. And after all of that, the photo looked like this. And I really did like this photo. I'm probably not gonna post this on my Instagram till like deeper into December. And honestly, with these greens and reds that I added, I could post this during the summertime and it would give a urban nighttime kind of feel. Like you're downtown, you get the green and red traffic lights shining on you. It really helps give that modern kind of feel for this modern product. That's just my opinion. This is more on the art side. I am a designer by trade, but I do like to do photography for me. And then part of my job is to know how to take good product photography shots. It does lean more out of design and more to art, which art is more subjective, whereas design is more objective. So everything that I'm saying here is just my opinion. You might have a different opinion or you might have a different take. And that's totally great. If you do have a different take on this, or if you think I should have done something differently, let me know in the comments below, and I can take the same photo and then re-edit it in the future. All right, last wallet shot here. It had all the lights turned off, but then it had this actual same LED light just dimly shining on the wallet, and I was just holding it like it's in the morning or it's nighttime and you're just grabbing your wallet because it's something that you carry on yourself daily. This was a very simple edit. Decrease the exposure, but then I used masking to be right on the wallet itself and then increase the exposure and highlights. Again, for that spotlight effect, I wanted people to only focus on this wallet. And then later on, I went to make another radial gradient and actually lowered the exposure to give some more shadows. And the final shot looked like this. All right, so moving on to the next product shot, I focused on my thumb ring. If any of you don't know, there's a ring with barbell knurling on it, and that makes me sound like a meathead. But I honestly got it because I love the gym. I specifically love barbell training, and it has been part of my life for 7 years, I think now. I've been able to take a lot of disciplines and things that I've learned from the gym and apply it to my own life. That's just really important to me, and that's honestly why I like to wear it on my thumb. This is while I was sketching some ideas for my new website. For this shot, it's gonna be a little bit different. It's still gonna be moody, but it's gonna be more of a blue shot because those blues, it's just colder around this time. And honestly, I'm leaning more towards blues right now. The blues, I went ahead and tried to remove some purples from those and increase them more towards the blue side. Made them more saturated. Lighting wasn't perfect, so there was a lot of noise in this photo. Went and drug that noise reduction kind of high just to make it smooth out some and make it like a buttery smooth kind of photo. I grabbed my linear gradient tool, drug it, lowered the exposure some, and then I grabbed a radial gradient and I gave it some green, but then ended up removing it. Instead, I sent it to Photoshop, gave it some bokeh, gave it some motion blur, and the final shot looks like this. And there you have it. That's me editing Moody product shots. I hope you did enjoy this. The next video is going to be taking product photography and incorporating it into design and giving it some call to action, giving it some purpose, making it more of an objective project rather than a work of art. And I think that's gonna be really interesting. Comment below what specifically you wanna see in that video and go ahead and subscribe. That way, whenever I upload that video, you'll be one of the first people to see it. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching and sticking to the end. If you did make it to the end, you're the real one, and I really do appreciate that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.